In China's big cities, cash is a thing of the past.
NFC 支付成功。
The country's finance sector has long been dominated by state-owned companies, with state-owned banks, securities firms taking a large share. They still play a big role, but the rise of fintech has brought change.
More private firms began entering the ring roughly 2 decades ago. Alibaba's Alipay began independent operation in 2004, only 2 years after China launched UnionPay, a state-backed debit and credit card provider. Other internet giants including Tencent, JD.com, and Baidu have all joined the race.
If a private company can take 1% of the payment market share, it's a great company.
How many transactions are you handling a year?
Nearly 3 trillion yuan.
The country's non-bank financial institutions handled more than 1.3 trillion online payment transactions in 2024, worth in excess of 330 trillion yuan according to People's Bank of China.
Do private companies have a finger in the pie, or are they creating a new pie?
I think both. After the emergence of new technologies, the market needs imagination, customized design, and faster speed. Private companies are filling this gap. I think 80% of the transaction volume come from state-owned companies, but 80% of the transaction numbers would come from private companies.
If you've made a payment in China for consumer goods, services, transportation, hospitality, or just about anything else, online or offline, chances are that at least one of the transactions went through this company.
Huifu was among the first batch of fintech firms to join the revolution in China's payment industry. It was the first third-party payment company being approved to conduct fund sales online in China. It's grown from a team of 30 to a company with more than 1,000 employees. In 2006, Zhou Ye founded this firm. Before that, he had nearly 10 years of working experience in IT in foreign invested firms, and another 6 years in a state-owned financial institution. Zhou was involved in founding UnionPay's online payment platform, ChinaPay.
I've worked for all 3 types of companies. I feel greater sense of achievement in a private company.
As for what the achievement means for Zhou,
We've just reached a cooperation with Jaguar Land Rover. We will help them manage payment and capital. Since 2023, we've been cooperating with more big-name foreign companies. Many foreign firms in the retail business started doing digital transformation.
We first had
15 million dollars, and then we founded the company. At that time, many internet companies were relying heavily on fundraising, but we turned a profit in the 26th month. In 2007, we started offering electronic ticketing for airlines. This single service helped us turn profit.
20 years in the making, the company's got 10 million clients. Even other online payment service providers backed by internet giants use their services.
You can see the emerging company, and we also work with AliExpress, which is not yet on display on the wall. We help companies to get their money back first to Hong Kong, and then make payments in the mainland, and then distribute the capital to their own bank accounts. A row of hidden leaders in their industries. You see, Lemon, 70% of the fruit stores in China use its system, generating more than 300 million yuan transaction a day. And that doll catcher company can get 100 million yuan a year.
So if they're doing good business, then you are.
Yes. We started doing cross-border business in 2016. We went through a very tough period to figure out the right model.
When we sat down, I started by asking him when that he thought he could call his business a success.
Today, I don't dare to say my company is a success. Our goal is always like the horizon.
Clearly, his goals are changing with the new demands from the development of all industries and companies in China.
Every time when I want to take a pause, there's a huge wave coming, sometimes about business models, sometimes about tech innovation. So for us, we want to try them all. When we started, we were dreaming about making payments on a single click. And now, it's become a norm. We can fulfill payment in a second for our clients in China.
成为我的这个商户1秒钟。
全球呢？
For cross-border payment with some countries, we can realize payment in a day. For some countries, it's 20 to 30 days. Our next goal is that we want to be able to receive payment across the world. This means, we have to connect with all banking systems and wallet managers around the world.
和这个钱包体系这个打通。
In February this year, Huifu expanded its business to Australia, opening a subsidiary with a team of 6.
真正让我们意
It
识
was
到
in March 2020 that I realized this could be a huge market. I was at home, monitoring every day's transaction volume. All of a sudden, I found that the cross-border e-commerce business was growing by several
每天
times.
看交易量，
And it's still growing by more than 30% every
几倍的
year.
速度在成长，现在年均还以30%几的速度在增长。
So far, the company can fulfill payment in more than 150 countries and regions with more than 25 currencies.
现在我们香港开了，
We've opened subsidiary in Hong Kong and Australia. We will expand also to Southeast Asia. We hope that the overseas business could double every year. China's payment companies are taking the lead in the world.
是领先的，是有足够的体量和这个国外的这个企业去展开平等的合作的。
And that requires some further investment.
新的这个
We invest 200 to 300 million yuan every year for our new business.
In his words, Zhou mentioned multiple times.
我们运气比较好，我个人的这个
It
运
was
气。
because of my luck.
Doing good business may require a little bit of good fortune, but it's far from a top priority for a private company to thrive in China's financial market. When I asked Zhou about his secret, he said simply curiosity. In 2006, when he left a state-owned financial institution as a top manager to start his own business, he took a bold but early move. I can tell from his word that he's still holding this passion today. There's always new task ahead. Currently, 5% of the group's business comes from international transactions. While Zhou did not disclose how much he's aiming at the end, if the overseas business does double every year as Zhou expects, the ambition is abundantly clear.